It's simply your bone structure. It's not magical or crazy. It's just that you're using this structural alignment of the bones to deliver power. The way to unify the bone structure is through sensing it, right? You've got to place your focus in there. Most people are so unaware of themselves on multiple levels. You want to train yourself to be so aware that you can be integrated in your bone structure for fighting's sake, but also present to thoughts, emotions, and others' energies as well, right? So should do it as you normally would, but from the perspective of muscular force, as opposed to just tensing your whole system up. You know what I mean? So that the muscles that would actually tense as you move, not like a crazy, every muscle's tight, that's different, yeah? Good, and slowly keep moving, and then kind of talk to me what's happening.
So I can feel it's the lats between the scapula and the spine as well, then starting to tense up. It goes down into my calf and then lower right. It's pretty much all right side. So
now you're aware of, what muscles activate when you're under that system or intentionally using that system. Now structure. Center, good. Sense the structure, yeah, good. I already feel that, yeah. What do you feel there?
Yeah, translates more down into the ground. Can feel like little parts around my knees activate.
Not bad. It's definitely structurally better. My suggestion is, as you sense it all, now look at where you're going. So you use your eyes to point to the end of the power plane, because I feel like it's not as powerful because it's not as well directed, but that's not the exact exercise for that. Yeah, because it was kind of going over that way. Simply put, most of the time, not always, direction will be where their eyes are going. Not always. Like the better you get, the less that is relevant. Yeah?
Definitely that place.
Yeah, good. That feels quite good. How's it feel to you?
Much better. There's definitely a difference in between muscular contractions, and then the key part is then just sensing the space and not trying to physically sense the space. It's just that energetic sensing. So then you're aware of your skeletal, and then your target, because it previously was grippy thoughts.
Yes, yeah. It's really a sensing of space, that's right. Good, but take out the pushing down. There's a subtle down push. Think you're pushing downward. Yeah, that way. You don't need to just go expand into the structure and move from the structure. It's more of a floating sense than it is a downward sense.
What do you mean floating sense?
So as you sense your center and you expand into the skeleton, it's like your bones are floating in space, right? It's a sense of the bones are essentially floating inside the fascia and the muscles. They're not pushing in any direction. There's no push of the bones, is what I'm trying to say. They don't push.
Gotcha.
They're just a unified connection that moves. Yeah. See how it feels like? It feels like more of a floatingness in your system now. Sigung would talk about the floating center. He says you have a sense of a floating center, and that's the foundation for the penetrating punch. Yeah.
The floating center being both structural floating center, bones floating, and then energetic floating center.
Yeah, work together. Yeah. So you infuse the spirit in the center, so it floats. So it's both. Yeah. And it feels like the structure is floating in space. It doesn't feel like I'm pushing the structure in any direction. It just feels like it's floating, and I'm telling it where to go. Like my arms feel like they're floating. Yeah.
That's interesting that you said from the skeletal element, because going from the pushing sense into the ground, the bones that's the ground, but then the floating, there's that floatiness now under the feet, and that's not the end of it. So that gives more of this idea of the floating bones, the floating structure.
Yes, exactly. Good. And now structure slow. Sigung used to say you should be able to do it slow. Yeah?
Everything slow.
You should be able to do it. So for example, if you're doing tan sao or bong sao, dealing with pressure, you should be able to keep it on while you're moving slowly, and not just hack it with speed. Yeah. Yeah. The sense is kind of like as someone's blowing air into your skeleton, like a balloon's expanding. Yeah. And that's, for me, that's, okay, I'm infusing the spirit into the, actually, you know what it really is? It's the infusion of the spirit into the meridian system which makes the bones feel like they're awakened. It's actually the meridian system. That's what it feels like. It's like, oh, there's energy lines that I'm feeling. Yeah, yeah. So center, sense. So you tell people structure so they can grasp, oh yeah, my bones are doing it. Because you say, oh, feel the meridians. They're like, huh?
Which one?
Meridian? Or they go, what's a meridian? Or what energy? You know, like.
I hate that power company.
Hey, hey, ching. Yeah, nice, good. And get really precise with your placement of everything. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's good. Same thing, so you get that same looseness, that floatingness, then you add speed. Those are just. I'm grateful for this opportunity to continue my training. So you just use frustration as your indicator. I know that because I spent my 10 years of first training of going and trying to use frustration to relax. But when there was literally that triggered it for me and made me go, oh, I'm using frustration to relax. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to release. And then all of a sudden I just felt it go, woof, and I was just like, damn, son. It's huge. It's a huge shift. To go, I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful. Yeah. I'm grateful. Not bad. That feels pretty good. How's it feel to you? Not bad.
Not bad. Oh,
Not bad. Good strike. 2 seconds in. Do you remember that guy who caught the fish ace? Do you guys remember that?
What?
Not bad. Do you remember that guy? Good size. The wog guy with his mates they caught a big fish and he was like, oh, not bad. Good size.
The mix of meridian.
2 seconds in. That was a nice floating skeletal system, but it wasn't targeted. It's just targeted. So when you move, as soon as you move, already I'm feeling it here. So if I center and sense, right, and I've got like a floating structure, and and then I go to move it, right, there is already a sense of power, right? But if I target everything correctly to you first, see the difference? So as soon as it moves, everything's already supported to that point, right? So that's why I layered that first. You must place that on me first, so that as you do move, everything's supporting the movement. That way. Yeah. I can feel it already. I can feel that everything's supporting the movement, right? Which is how you increase the mass part of the F equals MA, by sensing it and targeting it. Yeah, good. That feels good. That's what you want.
The meridians with the bones, so the air into the meridians, which awaken it, which feel like the bones expanding. That's a helpful idea.
Expansion's very much a consequence of understanding sensing and syncing. And okay, always there's the foundation of centering and intention. That's the way we look at everything. So anything we talk about is from the lens of centered and intention. You can always say that. But in order to facilitate that sense of dan hoi, which Sigmund will talk about, he'd want us to dan hoi, expand our joints. One must be able to sense and sync through that space. Meaning you must be able to sense the area and move energy through it. Because expansion is a sensing and a movement of energy in every direction. So the sensing and syncing is like ensures that you're able to access that area. That's why that's the foundation. Like I don't teach expansion at the beginning. Yeah. Neither did he. Yeah. Or at least in the way it's structured to us.
So through the expansion, that's how because it's expanded, and sinking, the energy sinking, when force comes in, it usually just goes through the gaps.
Well, yeah, it really depends on how good your state is and how good the person you're versing is. Because most of the time, ideally, so you're coming up against someone, it's just like it's all rebound. There's no. If I come in, there's absorption now. I'm feeling it here because I'm not expanding. Now I'm expanding. It's like there's no absorption. So it depends on how good you are and how good the other person is. Because if they've got a really good sense of Bei Fan or give back to you expansion, then that will kind of eliminate your ability, so to speak. Like skills. Depends on how good the skills are.
Because I heard that Siegel, like maybe in the later years, that's when he maybe started to get bruising, and whether that other people
he did.
Or he was just...
His body just wasn't able to deal with the amount of pressure he could give off. I remember there was this really strong Queenslander who came along and was putting loads of pressure, like really testing him, and he was still kind of doing it, but because his body couldn't handle the pressure, he was bruised up the next day. And we asked him, what's going on there? He said, my body can't handle that type of pressure anymore.